Hi. So in our previous work, we hard-coded where LEDs and components were connected to our Arduino Uno. Now this works very effectively. The only problem is you actually have to remember where things are plugged in. And if you change your mind, you've got to work your way through the program to change all of the different instances. Now I'll show you what I mean. Here is the program we wrote last time for Blink. In the setup, we connected an LED to pin 10 and we set that pin mode to an output. Then in the loop, we told that pin, number 10 again, see how it's highlighted, to go high. We waited for a while and then we sent it low again. Now, for a simple program like Blink, this is quite easy. If I want to suddenly change this not to pin 10, but to pin 11, I simply change that 10 to an 11, change that 10 to an 11, and change that 10 to an 11. If I now was to compile and send that to my Arduino, it compiles absolutely fine, it sends fine, and it goes out to the board. I can now unplug the wire from pin 10, plug it into pin 11, and everything carries on exactly as it was. But if I've got a few hundred lines of code, changing an 11 all the way through is one, hard work, and is two, likely to result in me making a mistake. So what we have is we have a cheat way of being able to do this. I'm going to make this a little smaller. Right? When the computer compiles this code, it changes it from English into a set of instructions that the software on the Uno can actually interpret. Actually, technically, it changes it into opcodes, operation codes, and then it gets changed into a series of ones and zeros, binary, for the Uno to actually work on. But what we can do instead is we can come above our setup. And this is usually done right at the top. We can put some shortcuts in. So if we use the phrase hash define, and we then say LED 10. Hash define LED is 10. We can then go through and change all of these to LED. LED, by the way, means light emitting diode and is the type of lights that we're using. When we can now compile this, what will happen is the software will take our value for LED. Anytime it sees the word LED, it will replace it with the number 10. And that then allows us to change the whole program just by changing this 10 to an 11 or to a 1, or if we want to use the analog pins, an A3, and then the computer can know what to do with it after this. This hash define is a form of variable. It's a hard-coded variable. The Uno itself will never know what LED means, but the IDE, the actual software that's programming it, will just replace that word LED every time it sees it with an A3 or a 10 or an 11 or whatever we decide to define it. We're going to use this a lot in the next series of programs because it will save a lot of writing. So now that you know what to define this, let's go and program our Arduino and make our two lights flash.